Welcome to the Deaf Kid Show. Let's go.
Hey! All right. Welcome to the GK Show. Fun music at the beginning. Yeah! Hope you're having a good day. Let's start the pod. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the GK Show. I just want to get some more stuff out, so hopefully my dog Shuggy doesn't start barking nonstop when trucks go by and everything, but let's kick it off. First off, I just had this random thought that a lot of people like to just shit on celebrities, you know? I think it's because, you know, they're famous and a lot of times they're really good looking and I just think people are just jealous, right? There are a few celebrities that, I mean, yeah, some of them maybe, I get why people don't like them, I guess, but there's a couple. Let's just spread some love, okay? Jamie Foxx, that guy, how talented is that guy? You know what I mean? What the hell is going on? How is that guy that talented? Jamie Foxx, super funny. I was talking to my buddy about this yesterday, and I just wanted to spread this. Jamie Foxx, super, super funny comedian. Not only does stand-up, does characters, you know, he's a big hit on In Living Color back in the day, which are two totally different things, by the way. Some people are really good at stand-up. Some people are really good at sketch. This guy's great at both. He can sing. I mean, I know some people might be music snobs and are like, well, he's okay, but he's not. He's awesome. He sings way better than I do. I can't sing decent, and he sings really, really well. He's won a Grammy. He can act seriously. Okay, he won an Oscar. Didn't he win an Oscar? Pretty sure he won an Oscar for Ray. And what else? I mean, this guy, I'm sure he can dance. This guy does it all. He does impressions. It's like, geez, man, what can Jamie Foxx not do? And he's a good-looking dude. Good-looking dude. Is he a male model? No, but is he a good-looking guy? Yep. What can Jamie Foxx not do? I feel like just a gifted guy, you know what I mean? I think that if something broke in his house, or say he was at your house and something broke, and you're like, oh man, my sink, I don't know what's going on, the water pressure's all messed up, I'm gonna have to call somebody. He'd probably be like, I could take care of that. And you'd be like, what? Do you know plumbing? He's like, nah, but just let me look at it. And then he would just fix it in 5 minutes. That's how talented he is. Let's move on. Zac Efron. I might have talked about this before. I can't remember if I've publicly spoken about this. That guy is gorgeous. He can dance. He can sing. He can act. He can act seriously. He's very funny when he acts in comedies. What a talented guy. What a talented dude. And people like to hate. I feel like if your girl comes up to you and she's like, hey, I'm leaving you for Zac Efron, you just have to be like, shit, you met Zac Efron? That was my one goal in life, was that you don't meet Zac Efron. Because of course, why would you not leave me for fucking Zac Efron? Of course. So, I just want to spread that. I have a lot of man crushes, but those guys, such talented dudes. I don't know, maybe they're not fun to hang out with, but I doubt it. I bet they'd be awesome hangs. All right, I have a couple interesting little news stories I want to go over. Here's the first one. Woman arrested after pouring alcohol into Taco Bell drive-thru employee's mouth. That's the headline. I'm going to read that again because I had to read it a couple times. Woman arrested after pouring alcohol into Taco Bell drive-thru employee's mouth. I have so many questions just off this headline. How, if you're in a drive-thru, are you able to reach up? It's usually up, right? I don't know how big your car is. Maybe the lady has a big truck, but you can reach out and their employee's head, what is it, like out the window? And then you grab the back of their head with one hand? Are you outside your window? and you just grab the back of their head and fucking throw alcohol down their throat? How does that even happen? Is this woman like Mr. Fantastic? Is that the guy with his arms and legs can stretch and stuff? I don't know. So let's give it a read. An Oregon sheriff's office took to Facebook to share its, quote, weirdest DUI arrest of the weekend, end quote, in which law enforcement officials arrested a woman after she poured alcohol into a Taco Bell drive-thru employee's mouth. According to Washington, I love that. Do you hear that? You even get that? The sheriff took to Facebook? Why is everybody taking to Facebook about everything? According to Washington County Sheriff's Office, the incident took place around 1 a.m., of course, on a Saturday at a Taco Bell branch in Beaverton, Oregon. The suspect, 23-year-old Eliana Aguilar from Cornelius, Oregon, had a blood alcohol level of 0.12%. The Oregon state limit is 0.08. So I live in California. The limit is 0.08 as well. 0.12 is not that drunk. That is not that drunk. I feel like if you have a couple beers in an hour, that's probably 0.08. So 0.12, I mean, maybe I'm an alcoholic. That's not hammered at all. I know people who have gotten DUIs, granted these are pretty bad, but they were like 0.3. So, I mean, they were very drunk though. I think the guy I'm talking about crashed into like a parked school bus or something. So he was really drunk. But, so 0.12, and so first of all, this lady's name is Eliana Aguilar. I didn't say that wrong. I wasn't stuttering. Aguilar. If your last name is Aguilar and you marry somebody with the last name Aguilar, do you really have to do the hyphen? Why? Her name's Eliana Aguilar. She married somebody Aguilar, so she goes hyphen Aguilar, so you're just writing your name twice? I don't know about that. If my wife's last name was Keith, I wouldn't be like, fucking go Keith. You're Christy Keith now. She's like, can't it just be Christy Keith? I was already Christy Keith. Nah. People need to know that you have two Keiths. Christy Keith. KKK. Horrible initials. All right, so let's read on. The Washington County Sheriff's Office did not immediately respond to Yahoo Lifestyle's request for comment. Sorry, I had to check to make sure I was really recording. But wrote in its Facebook post that she poured the alcohol into the employee's mouth, quote, right in front of a sheriff's office sergeant, end quote, while she was, quote, still in her car. What? So she did this in front of a sheriff's office sergeant, so in front of a sergeant. She's still in her car. How do you pour something in someone's throat? Was the drive-thru employee in her car as well? I have so many questions, and there's no video, obviously. This lady, look at her. She looks like she started like a fitness program. She might be quite the looker. The Oregonian reported that Aguilar's drink of choice was Hennessy cognac. No shit. But Washington County Sheriff's Office Deputy Brian Van Cleef clarified that the Taco Bell employee didn't actually consume the alcohol. I like how that had to be clarified. Like that employee was like, look, man, I'm going to get fired if my boss finds out I drank some Hennessy on the job. They're not going to care how it happened. I got 2 strikes already. Can we just keep this under wraps? Say I spit it out? Quote, we talked to the employees after, and he said most of it was spilled on him and that he didn't actually consume the Hennessy. Why is that even important? He's the victim. Who gives a shit if some Hennessy got down his throat? Van Cleef told the Oregonian. The driver and employee didn't know each other. I feel like that's even weirder. Doesn't it seem like this would be someone you knew? While the police made light of the incident with their Facebook post, some people didn't agree that it was funny and spoke out in the comments section about how it's inappropriate for the police to post about her in jest. I love this. Who in the world is commenting on police Facebook posts? I live in Southern California in a city. I don't check my local sheriff's department Facebook page. I don't even know if they have one. I guess they probably do. Who's checking that? Hey, I just want to keep up on my sheriff's department Facebook page. Unless there's a serious situation going on, like, hey, there's a streaker on the loose, watch your kids or something, or there's a rapist out there, serial rapist. Like, I don't know, why are you constantly checking? So let's see some of these comments. Quote, I understand this is comical, but it's at the expense of someone that made a mistake that will impact her life for a long time. Why are we shaming her? One person wrote. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? She was 0.12, and she was basically, isn't that assault to just force alcohol down someone else's throat or try to? Another person, quote, I'm disappointed that the sheriff's office thinks this is appropriate. People should still have to experience the consequence to their actions, but kicking them while they're down doesn't seem like something that's helping build community. Okay. Why do these people care? This is a Taco Bell employee who got Hennessy forced down his throat, almost, sort of, but got on him. Wink, wink, boss, don't fire me. Someone else suggests that everyone makes mistakes. They just aren't viral on social media. Okay, that is true. We all make mistakes. I've never, and has anyone listening ever been at a Taco Bell drive-thru with some cognac, some Henny, and tried to force it down the drive-thru employee's throat? Is that a mistake we all make? I don't know. It's kind of an interesting mistake. I feel like it's worth going, hey, this is kind of weird. We've all done that. Did we go through Arby's? Give me a beef and cheddar and fucking get over here. Drink some of this Jack Daniels I brought with me in the car. I don't think that makes any sense. Quote, come on now. We all have our finest moments, just not everyone's is plastered all over social media, the person wrote. Quote, reminder to never drink and drive and or pour. Haha. Quote, seems even weirder that the government officials are publicly shaming a human. Okay. Another person wrote, isn't the point of an arrest like that to help someone and make sure they aren't endangering themselves or others? Why brag or shame? I think the point of the arrest for something like that is you just fucking tried to pour alcohol down a drive-thru employee's mouth. You can't do that. I don't think there's any deeper meaning to that arrest. Don't do that. Stop it. Illegal. We got to take you to jail. You're arrested. Aguilar was released from Washington County Jail on Tuesday. Representatives from Taco Bell did not immediately respond to Yahoo Lifestyle's request for comment. Why do you need Taco Bell to comment on this story? Hey, so does this happen often? Hey, are you happy that someone in your drive-thru at 1 a.m. tried to pour Hennessy down your employee's throat? Is that employee fired? I want that to be the comment, you know what I mean? The manager comes out. Yeah, well, we determined that some of that Henny got down our employee's throat, and he is fired. That is strike number 3. All right, so that story, pretty fun. Next story. Let's see. Minnesota boys lasso large sturgeon in creek. Sturgeon. What's a sturgeon? It looks like a big ass fish, like an alligator almost. A pair of Minnesota boys landed a monster 73-inch sturgeon using nothing but an unusual fishing tool, a lasso. Owen Sanderson, 14, said he and friend Mark Hoekskra were fishing next to the 56th Street Bridge in Edina when they spotted the gigantic fish. One of the boys' fathers filmed as they pulled off the unusual catch. So there's a 73-inch fish, and the dad's like, I got it. I got my iPhone out. Go get that fucking sturgeon, boy. They're from Minnesota, so they definitely don't talk like that, but in my head they do. Hey, fucking rig up a lasso and catch me that fucking sturgeon. Matt gave me a rope with a slip knot, and I just put it under his tail and yanked, Sanderson told KTSP-TV. That is the only TV station, by the way, that gives a shit about two teenage boys roping in a sturgeon. Quote, I pulled on the rope, and it worked, and then he scratched my chest with his tail as he tried to get away. The boys returned the fish to the creek after measuring it. What an interesting day for that sturgeon. You know what I mean? I don't know what sturgeons do, but sturgeon is going about its day. Hey, I'm 73 inches. I'm hanging out. I'm having a good time. What is that, a lasso? What are those kids doing? Oh, shit! Help! Somebody! And then you're like, this is it. This is how I die. They're taking him out of the water. They got a tape measure. He's like, why do they have that? My ex was really concerned about my length as well. Then they measure him and throw him back in. Oh, well, that fucking didn't end so bad. Weird day for that sturgeon. There's a video as well, so if you guys are interested, just Google Minnesota boys lasso large sturgeon in creek. Sturgeon is surgeon with a T after the S, by the way, if anyone's wondering how to spell it. All right, new fun story. $1 million Powerball ticket was on Oblivious winner's table for over a month. God, this is the story we all want, isn't it? We all want it to happen to us. A North Carolina man said his $1 million Powerball ticket spent more than a month on his dining room table before he knew of his good fortune. The North Carolina man who purchased his ticket from Nanba LLA in Bennettsville, South Carolina, told South Carolina education lottery officials that the slit of paper sat undisturbed on his dining room table for over a month. I know we're all thinking the same thing. What if that guy threw it away? What if his wife threw it away? I don't know if he has a wife. Can you imagine? Your wife's like, clean up your mess. You had a bunch of trash on that table for a week. Or it's been 2 days. Clean up the table. I cleaned it for you. And they just never know that he's sitting on $1 million. How much would that suck? How much would that suck? What if he took a picture of it? What if he had made a routine of taking pictures of his lottery tickets just so he could, I don't know, whatever. What if he randomly took a picture of it? What if he took a picture of something in the room, you could zoom in on the table, see the numbers? I just keep changing the what if. And then later he looks at it and goes, hey, you cleaned that table last week? I had a lottery ticket worth $1 million on it. How weird is that? Isn't that weird? Because if they threw it out and they never found out, they'd just never know. They'd never know. And the thing that's hilarious is the guy, it sounds like he plays the lottery all the time because it says it later in the story. Here, I'll just finish it. Quote, I have a bad habit of waiting to check my lottery tickets, the man said. So I would assume that he plays the lottery all the time. The ticket matched the first 5 numbers from the June 8th drawing, 9, 13, 42, 48, 60, missing only the Powerball number 18. It sucks. Could have made probably 50 times as much. Yeah, so that's so funny. So this guy won $1 million. What if he just threw out that ticket or got lost? His wife cleaned it, someone cleaned it, he cleaned it, whatever. And then this guy just still plays the lottery the rest of his life going, fuck, I have the worst luck. I've never won. I've never even won $10. Can you imagine? Then you just die. What if that's what happens when you die? You go to some place, God, whoever, whatever you think happens, and they're like, and you get to complain like, hey, what do you think about your life? He's like, well, it kind of sucked. You know what I mean? It was all right, but it could have been better. And they're like, what if I tell you won the lottery? How did I win the lottery? I used to play the lottery all the time. Never won the lottery. It's like, yeah, July, whatever, or June. I guess it'd be June 24th. 2019, you won $1 million, but you never turned in the ticket. Oh, you'd be dead, but you'd want to kill yourself. All right. Next story. Lost kangaroo hops through city, runs red light. What country do we think this is, guys? If you thought Australia, ding, 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 you win. Nothing. Wagga Wagga, Australia. What a great name for a place in Australia with that accent. Wagga Wagga. Where do you live? I live in Wagga Wagga. It's like you're making a joke. You're Australian. Hey, where do you live? I live in Oi Oi. Oh, I'm 3 towns over in Wagga Wagga. I don't know how good that accent is, but it's fun to do. An apparently disoriented kangaroo hopped through an Australian city and was caught on camera running a red light. How is that the first sentence? Did it get a ticket for running the red light? It's a fucking kangaroo running a red light. Is it running a red light? Was it supposed to obey traffic laws? It's not in a car. It's a kangaroo. It's not a pedestrian. It's a kangaroony. A video recorded Monday morning in Wagga Wagga and tweeted by local real estate business Fitzpatrick's shows the eastern gray kangaroo roaming a busy street and hopping through a red light. They're really trying to nail this kangaroo for this red light. That is literally 2 sentences, and both sentences in this story are talking about how he ran the red light. I think the person who wrote this, let's see. Ben Hooper. Ben Hooper sounds like he hates kangaroos. We got a problem with these kangaroos. They're running red lights. We got to fucking put them in prison. We got to kill all the kangaroos. Death penalty. Running a red light, that can cause an accident. Calm down, Ben Hooper. Mark Sayer, a veterinarian at Coringal Veterinary Hospital, said the clinic sent a team to help capture the kangaroo when it was cornered in a parking lot by local authorities. First sentence without mentioning that red light. They should be like, also, this motherfucker ran a red light. Did we tell you about that? Sayer said the kangaroo may have panicked and ended up in the city after being separated from its mob. He said it was given a health examination and released outside the urban area. I think that's interesting that kangaroos, you guys probably all know this, but, like different animals, it's like, crows. If there's a group of them, it's called a murder of crows. So apparently, it's a flock of seagulls. It's a whatever, right? So a mob, a group of kangaroos is called a mob. Fun little trivia. That'd be funny if they call them that because Dr. Doolittle once spoke to kangaroos and they're like, hey, fucking, what we doing here, Vinny? Huh? You want to fucking hop through some fucking red lights? What do you think, huh? Hey, Vincenzo, we're thinking about getting the fuck out of here. Fucking running some fucking red lights. What do you want to fucking do, huh? That's why they call kangaroos a mob. All right. Next story. I love this story. Bella's house from Twilight listed on Airbnb. Oh my God, I have a boner. Bella Thorne, was that her last name? Or is that somebody else? Is that a famous person? I don't know. Bella, no, it's not Bella Thorne. The Bella Thorne, I think, is an actress or something. I don't know anything about pop culture. Anyways, I watched the Twilight movies, and I gotta say, as a man who I wasn't even at the age range that I think those movies were geared towards, I liked the Twilight movies. I thought they were pretty interesting, you know? I think I saw them on the road or something when I was by myself, or that's when I got into it. I was like, oh, I might as well go see Twilight. I remember I did see 50 Shades of Grey by myself on the road. Where was I, Connecticut or something? I went to the movie theater. There was so much buzz about 50 Shades of Grey. Sorry for this quick tangent. And I was like, everybody wants to see this movie? Like, I had nothing to do. I'm by myself. I'm like, I'll go see 50 Shades of Grey. And I've never been in a movie theater. It was packed full of women. Just women were going in groups, just friends, like groups of 5-10 women. And when the lights finally went down, you know, because the movie's gonna start, it was like, oh, oh. You just heard this all over the theater, and I'm just this dude by myself. I don't know what people thought about me. I probably looked like some sort of weird rapist or something, you know what I mean? Just in, you know, I don't know. I either probably looked like a gay dude who had no one to go with. But I feel like gay dudes would have like their female friends, or so I don't know. Do gay dudes even like Twilight? I liked it. Anyways, I looked like a creep. At the very least, I looked like a creep. You know what I mean? Best case scenario, I'm a creep. Worst case scenario, I'm a serial killer who kills women. And I'm stalking him at this theater. I don't know if it was Connecticut. I don't know where it was. Anyways, Bella's house from Twilight is listed on Airbnb. Fans of the Twilight film series. Wow, that was weird reading. Fans of the Twilight film series can now spend the night in the Oregon house that served as the filming location for Bella Swan's home. The Twilight Swan house in St. Helens is available to rent on Airbnb for between $330 and $440 a night, depending on the day, but is only available for stays of 2 nights at a time or more. Well, that's a lot of Airbnbs, okay? They don't want people doing one-night rentals. Quote, stay in this famous movie house. For the first time ever, you are now able to experience the inside of the home, so loving referred to as the Twilight Swan house. This house, Bella Swan, that's her fucking name, right? Not Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne, I gotta look up who Bella Thorne is. This house was featured as the home of Charlie and Bella Swan in the movie Twilight. The description reads, all I had to do was read. All I had to do was read, and I would have known that. This charming 1930s home is located in a quiet neighborhood in downtown St. Helens within walking distance to the historic riverfront. Short drive to Portland, it says. Well, guys, I want to stay in that house and watch the entire Twilight saga as I jerk it to a Kristen Stewart poster. All right, that's a little much, but that would be kind of fun to stay there. Not for $330 at night. Come on. Maybe if you had a bunch of people. That'd be fun. Just get a group of people. That'd be a weird trip. You guys want to go to, where is it? Is it Beaverton? What did they say? Beaverton? St. Helens. I think it's in St. Helens. Yeah, St. Helens, Oregon. That'd be fun. Hey, you guys want to go to St. Helens, Oregon? We'll get the Twilight house, the Bella Swan house, and we'll just watch the whole saga. New Moon. What was the last one? I can't remember. Anyways, it was really good. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty entertaining. Next story. Oh, I like this one. Giant lizard climbs on ATM outside bank. And there's a video of this. This is so funny. A surprise witness outside a bank in Thailand recorded video of an unusual ATM customer, a monitor lizard, climbing on the machine. The video, recorded Sunday outside a bank in Saraburi, shows the large lizard climbing on the buttons and screen of the cash machine. The filmer said the lizard initially appeared to be attempting to enter the business, which was closed at the time. A monitor lizard wants to get into the bank, but forgot it was the weekend. He climbs ATM instead, the filmer wrote. Here's what, I know this story is not that, great. Just a big lizard this lizard's huge, by the way, and it climbed on the ATM. This is what I'm picturing, though. You are in a rush. You're having the worst day you've had in a while. You have to crap, but you really need money. So you're like, I got to stop at the ATM. Your wife's mad at you. Your kids are just giving you shit, and you need to go to the ATM because you have to make a payment because you're about to get evicted and your landlord is breathing down your back. And the landlord goes, you don't get back here 10 minutes with that money, I'm kicking your whole family out of this house. That's probably not how the Thai landlord would speak. But anyways, then You're like, fuck, god damn it. You're pissed. You're having the worst day ever. You go to the ATM. You're in a rush. You're in a time crunch. This could also be you're late for a play or something. You need money. I don't know. Whatever. You're late for something. I don't. It has to be as extreme as your family hates you and the landlord's about to evict you. But you show up to the ATM and there's a fucking huge lizard on it. Oh, you'd hate life at that point. You're already having a bad day and you're like, fuck, god damn it. Only me. This only would happen to me. Lizard on my ATM. Anyways, that's the reason I read that story, just to go into that weird hypothetical. All right, here's the last one. Idaho man covers his wife in plastic wrap for Guinness World Record. An Idaho man who has broken more than 100 Guinness World Records earned another title when he wrapped his wife in plastic wrap in 1 minute, 57 seconds. Don't you think if you had a really small wife, you could do it quicker? You know what I mean? Not to be a dick, but don't you think if your wife was like a dwarf or if she was just really, really small, it's just less plastic wrap, you could just annihilate that record? Oh, really? I wrapped my 3'5" wife in plastic wrap in 58 seconds. So it took you almost 2 minutes. Weak. This guy looks like his wife is normal sized. This dork. This is such a weird life. David Rush, who has broken dozens of Guinness World Records in his pursuit to promote STEM education, that's pretty cool, sorry I called him a dork, said it took 4 practice tries and 12 official attempts to successfully cover his wife from the bottoms of her feet to her neck in plastic wrap. He said Guinness rules required that she have no rips, tears, skin, or clothing left uncovered by the wrap. He should have just covered her naked, you know what I mean? That would have been fun for him. That would have been fun for the Guinness World Record officials to watch. That way there's no clothing exposed. Rush said the plastic tore on several attempts as he found it particularly difficult to wrap his wife's joints. He was eventually able to complete an attempt in 1 minute 57 seconds, beating the previous record by 2 seconds. Suck it, other guy! Rush's previous records include fitting 146 blueberries in his mouth, popping 200 balloons with a nail, and throwing and catching a flaming sword 64 times in 1 minute. Okay, first off, two points about this story. One, these people have an awesome marriage. I don't know them. David Rush and his wife. How fun is their marriage? He's like, hey, babe, I'm thinking about breaking the Guinness World Record for covering a wife in plastic wrap. You down? And she's like, yep. Why didn't you bring that up sooner? Why would we not do this? I can't imagine asking Christy, my wife, hey, babe, so there's this Guinness World Record for wrapping your wife in plastic wrap, and it's a minute 57. I think I could do better. Are you down to let me wrap you in plastic wrap? She'd look at me, roll her eyes, and might not even say anything, just walk away. Or she'd be like, why would I do that? That sounds so dumb. I'm like, but I think we could beat these people from Idaho. Then we'd have a Guinness World Record. And she'd be like, nope, not doing it. And then I would beg her for a couple weeks. Periodically, I'd bring it up, and then I'd finally drop it. So anyways, they have a great marriage. I would love to be in the bedroom. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in their bedroom, watch their kinky sex life. Do you think that you have like post, we just set a Guinness World Record sex? Like, yeah. What if he just keeps her wrapped in it, pokes a hole where the vagina is, and they just go at it? I don't know. It's possible. I'm probably wrong, but it's possible. So, excuse me, that was my first takeaway from this. The other thing is, what is not a Guinness World? Can you just come up with anything and make it a Guinness World Record? Because I feel like you can't. I feel like I looked into this, and they're not just like, we don't take just anything as far as, judging for a Guinness World Record. But you take this. It's like, that's so weird to me. So you walk in and go, hey, Guinness, I have this idea. I want to set the world record for, most times I change my T-shirt in a minute. And they're just like, that's dumb. I'm like, that's dumb? How's that dumb? You have a guy who's got pop balloons with a nail. He caught a flaming sword, throwing and catching a flaming sword 64 times in a minute, fitting 146 blueberries in your mouth. But you're like, hey, what if I do like, I take my T-shirt off and then I see how many times I could do that in a minute. They're like, that's stupid. Why would we ever take our time to do that? Call us when you want to fit 147 blueberries in your mouth. All right. So, I don't know, man. Maybe, you know what? I think that T-shirt thing might be an actual thing. So, key takeaways from today is Zac Efron and Jamie Foxx are gorge. If you guys haven't yet, please rate the podcast 5 stars. If you want to leave a review, that's fine. Looking into doing some different things, just having fun, talking every day I can. Yeah, so I leave town on Sunday, and I come back on Thursday, and then I'll be doing more podcasts, but hopefully I'll crank out a couple more before all of that. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening to my daddy.